again. Yes, we are back once more. I hope you are having a good week. How has your week been so far? Has it been a good one, or has it been a pile of pants? We will have to wait and see as we begin today's live chat. Yes, it is English Addict Extra. Oh, we are intrigued to find out what this is all about. Coming to you live from the birthplace of the English language, which just happens to be England. Hi everybody, this is Mr. Duncan in England. How are you today? Are you okay? I hope so. Are you happy? Are you feeling happy today? Well, I suppose that is the first question to ask. Are you happy? I hope this week has been good. For me, it's been okay. Nothing special, I will be honest with you. Nothing really special has happened this week. I might say, if you don't mind me saying this, I hope you don't mind, but this is the highlight of my week. I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing. When the highlight of your week is doing a live stream on YouTube, is that a good thing or a bad thing? I'm really not sure. Anyway, I hope you are feeling happy today. My name is Mr. Duncan. You can call me Duncan if you want. If you want to call me Duncan, you can. That's no problem. It is my name, after all. And I talk about the English language. You might say that I am an English addict. And this is an extra live stream. Normally I am with you on Sunday, but today I am with you live on Wednesday as well. Very nice to see you here. We have people joining in already on the live chat. Ooh, very nice. Yes, as I mentioned, we have made it all the way to the middle of another week because it is, yes, it really is Wednesday. Wednesday is here and everything is okay. I hope it is anyway. I hope everything is okay where you are. I hope everything is super duper. We are having the most amazing weather once again. I know I often talk about the weather, but at the moment the weather is amazing. We are having the most mild November that I can ever remember, ever, in my whole life. It is so mild outside. Many of the leaves are still on the trees. Look, if you look out the window, so here is another view out of my window. This is the view right now. And you can see that, well, most of the trees still have their leaves, even though now we are approaching mid-November. And it still looks as if it is late summer. However, you will notice that many of the leaves on the trees are now changing colour. It really does look as if autumn is in the air. The only thing I've noticed is that there are still lots of trees with their leaves. A certain type of tree that loses its leaves is deciduous. A deciduous tree is a tree that loses its leaves during autumn. And there is the view right now. Even though it's mild, very warm today. It really is the most unbelievable November. I can't remember the last time we had such a mild beginning to autumn. It's very strange. It really does feel rather weird. Maybe it has something to do with global warming. I don't know, because I'm not an expert. And I have a feeling that most people at the moment on the planet don't really know what is happening. Do you know why? This is my theory. Human beings have very short lives. When you compare our lives, the length of each of our lives to the amount of time that this earth has been here, it's a very small amount of time. So we often find it hard to see what the pattern is of nature, because we are only here for a fleeting moment. So maybe if the earth is having some sort of process that takes hundreds or thousands of years, well, we won't really realise that, because we are here for just a brief moment of time. So that's my thought anyway. So what is happening to the planet? Is it getting hotter? Is it getting colder? And why is there a strange itch on my right leg? Ooh, that's better. Ooh, there's nothing nicer than scratching an itch that is bothering you. Here we go then. Yes, we are back together, and we have the live chat as well. Hello, live chat. I wonder who was first on today's live chat. Oh, very interesting. Oh, we have Beatrice. Hello, Beatrice. We have Beatrice and also Sandra, who actually appeared on my live chat together. So I suppose today it is a joint. Congratulations to Beatrice and also Sandra. Congratulations, you are both first here on today's live chat. I know I don't normally have two people in first place, but I'm feeling rather generous today, so make the most of it, please. Hello also to Tiksha. We also have Marus, and also, who else is here? Parisa is here. Where is Vitas? Oh, Vitas, where are you? We are looking for you now on the live chat. Hello also Maria and also Eva. Nice to see you here as well. Oh, of course we have one of our regular viewers, Luis Mendez, is here today. Nice to see you here, Luis. Palmyra, we also have, who else is here? Baram is here as well. Nice to see so many people joining in this early. Now, a lot of people have asked, Mr. Duncan, why are you not doing your daily live streams? Well, last month was the anniversary of my YouTube channel. So that's the reason why last month I was doing my special daily live streams. But of course, that has now passed. It is over. We are now back to normal with my twice a week. So you can watch me on Wednesday and also on Sunday. And the time is always the same. 2 p.m. UK time is when I'm here with you. Today we have an interesting subject to talk about. And I was inspired by something I did last week. I don't know why, but one of the main TV channels here in the UK has been showing Harry Potter. All of the Harry Potter films over the past couple of weeks. And they've been repeating them again and again. So I thought last week I would try and sit down and watch some Harry Potter. Because in the past I've tried doing that and I found it really difficult. I don't know why. But maybe I'm not a fan. Maybe I'm not the demographic of Harry Potter. But I just can't get into it. I really can't. I don't know why. I don't know why it is, but I watch Harry Potter and I find it really depressing. Am I the only person that feels that? For some reason, I find it really depressing. It depresses me. Within 10 minutes of watching Harry and all of his friends running around, casting spells and running away from evil ghouls and ghosts and other things that are unmentionable, I just find it really depressing. I don't know why. So I did try. I watched a bit of the first one, which I think was Philosopher's Stone, and then I watched a bit of the second one, which was actually a little bit better. So the second one, Chamber of Secrets, I think that was all right. I didn't actually mind that one. The only strange thing, of course, is they also changed Dumbledore. So Dumbledore, at first, is Richard Harris. But he seemed so tired. He seemed to have no energy. And I suppose one of the reasons why he seemed like that was because he was quite old, and of course he passed away. And then they had to replace Richard Harris with Michael Gambon. So Michael Gambon then stepped in to Dumbledore. He stepped into the role because Richard Harris was no more. Very strange that I found that I liked Michael Gambon as Dumbledore more than Richard Harris. I found Richard Harris a bit difficult to watch. His voice and everything was really, really hard to watch. It made me feel tired and maybe a little bit depressed. But at least Michael Gambon, he had a bit more energy. But as the films went on, they just became so dark and boring. I just found myself so depressed. I think by the third one, I was really, that's it, I'd had enough. I couldn't watch any more. So I decided to watch a little bit of the next one, and it just got worse and worse. It just made me feel so depressed, and nothing really happened. And then the fourth one, and then by then I thought, well, that's it. I'm out of here. I wish I had a magic wand so I could go back in time and erase all of those memories of trying to sit and watch Harry Potter last week. It wasn't a good idea. And I know what you're going to say. You are going to say, Mr. Duncan, Harry Potter is aimed at children. You see, I'm not sure about that, because there would appear to be a lot of adults that also like Harry Potter as well. So I don't think it's because it's aimed at children. I think all ages watch Harry Potter, but I just can't get into the movies. I can't get into them. Isn't it strange? They just make me feel hollow and sad. I don't know why. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm a grumpy old fart. Who knows? Here we go. Hello to everyone. Ooh. Hello also to... We have... Oh, Vitas is here at last. I want to give you a round of applause, Vitas. Can I? Okay. I know it's unusual. I don't normally do that. I don't normally give my applause away easily. Hello also to Flower, who says, please give Mr. Duncan a thumbs up. Well, I think that's a lovely idea. If you could, please give me a thumbs up. I would be really, really glad of that, to be honest. It's the only attention I get these days. No one else bothers. So if you give me a lovely thumbs up like that, I will be ever so pleased. Talking of good things, we have the live captions back. So if you want to watch on the screen, if you want to see what I'm saying, we have live captions. They have returned, everyone. Isn't that lovely? I'm really pleased about that. Alessandra says, I have never seen any Harry Potter films. Well, I didn't see them when they came out. I couldn't see what all the fuss was about, you see. I found it very hard to work out why everyone was going crazy about Harry Potter. So I did try to watch a couple of the movies many years ago, and I think one of them I fell asleep. I actually fell asleep watching it. Some people say the same thing about my live streams. They say, Mr. Duncan, sometimes we can't stay awake when we are watching you. You make us very sleepy. Magdalena says, Harry Potter is not my cup of tea. Not the books and not the films. Well, that's where it all started. So I remember many years ago when people were talking about the Harry Potter books when they first came out. And before then, I'd never heard such a fuss about a book. People were going crazy about it. And then we had the films, and then everyone became crazy, absolutely crazy about him. Which leads me to today's subject. We are talking all about a lovely subject. I thought today, something nice, something to make us feel warm and fuzzy. I thought today we would look at the subject of magic. Yes. Okay, that's enough. We can't have too much magic. I will wear myself out. My little magic wand will start to become limp. And we can't have that, can we? So we are talking all about magic today, words connected to magic. A lot of people believe that there is such a thing as magic. However, quite often in the English language, we will use magic and also words connected to that particular subject in everyday language. So that's what we're looking at today, something for us to talk about. Palmyra says, I love the films with Emily Watson. I think Hermine? Does she play Hermine? I found her character incredibly annoying in Harry Potter. I didn't like any of them. There were no characters that I really liked. I suppose I liked Dumbledore. He was nice. I don't know why. He reminded me of everyone's granddad. But all the rest, Ron Weasley. What? Was he supposed to be annoying? Is he supposed to be an annoying character? He really just, did nothing for me. I suppose my favourite character of the evil ones must be Professor Snape. I will be honest with you, I did quite like him. But then you had an amazing actor playing the part. So I suppose when you have Alan Rickman playing the part, well, you are going to get some good acting, I think so. Alessandro says, Mr. Duncan, I Put a Spell on You is one of my favourite songs. Yes, there is a song called I Put a Spell on You. I think it's a dance song. It's a dance number. It's got some high energy going on, I think so. Hello, also. I didn't think so many people would want to talk about Harry Potter. But some people don't like it. Beatrice says, I think I watched 2 Harry Potter films, but none of them after that. It was enough for me. I know, I just don't see the appeal of Harry Potter. I don't see the appeal. And I can't understand why so many adults are crazy about it. There's some of them go around dressed up. They have their own magic wand. And they dress up as Harry Potter. I suppose it's similar to science fiction. Some people are crazy about Star Wars. You see, I like Star Wars, but I would never walk around dressed as Luke Skywalker. I wouldn't do it. Yeah. Sadly, Alan Rickman is no more. That is true, Palmyra. Yes, a great actor, one of my favourite actors. Alan Rickman, he has the most amazing voice. I'm Alan Rickman. I'm sorry, I don't do very good impressions. Sorry about that. What a letdown. Are you let down already? I've only been on for 25 minutes and you're let down. I've let you down, all of you. Hello, Beatrice. Hello. Oh, okay. I'm seeing some messages on here, but I don't know what they're referring to. Beatrice says, Mr. Duncan, the wonderful effects of magic. Well, magic is everywhere when you think about it. When you walk around, maybe you look at the sunset, maybe you are watching the clouds going by. Everything, when you think about it, everything seems like magic. It does. Some people find it very easy to see the magic of life, whilst others do not. Maybe that's part of my problem. Maybe I just don't appreciate the magic of Harry Potter. Maybe I just don't appreciate it. Maybe it's not for me. Teek Shah asks, Mr. Duncan, did you watch Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit? Well, I remember reading that at school. We were taught that at school. Tolkien's great saga of the quest for the ring. And don't forget, everyone was after the ring, including that little grey guy. You know who I mean, the little wizened guy. My precious. Did you like that? You see, that sounded more like Alan Rickman than my Alan Rickman impression. I think so. Hello also, Yusra. Nice to see you here as well. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, apparently we are talking about eyes on the live chat. I did not realise we were talking about eyes, but apparently that's what we are talking about at the moment. Eyes. Apparently, I think Beatrice is having laser surgery on her eyes. Is that true? Have I got it right or wrong? Sometimes I see messages on the live chat and I'm not sure what the context actually is. So even I am intrigued to find out what that's all about. Personally, well, as you notice, I'm sure you've noticed, I do wear glasses quite often. In fact, all the time. If I take my glasses off, I can't see a thing. I am as blind as a bat. However, over the years, a lot of people have asked, why don't you have surgery on your eyes? So nowadays, they can do lots of things with lasers. They can cut your eyes open and change the shape of them, and then your eyesight will become much better. Personally, I don't like the sound of that at all. I don't like the thought of anything being close to my eyes. That's the reason why I don't have contact lenses. It's exactly the same reason why I would never wear contact lenses, because, to be honest with you, the thought of poking myself in the eye is not a nice thought, to be honest. I don't like the thought of that. Oh, I see. Beatrice says the practice with the laser is to avoid high pressure damage to the optic nerve. Of course, the optic nerve is at the back of the eye. That is how your brain and your eyes communicate with each other. All of the images, the things you see every day. So now I know, but I would never have any surgery on my eyes. I do not like the thought of that. It sends shivers down my spine. I do not like the thought of it, if I was honest with you. You know, I like to show some strange words. The English language is a fun and exciting place to be. I think the world of English is wonderful, but sometimes it can also be a little bit strange. We have some strange English words to look at before we continue. So I thought I would show you a couple of words that are rather unusual, and maybe, perhaps, it's the first time that you've ever seen them. So here's the first one. Oh, I like this word. Inordinate. 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 I like to pronounce the words so you can hear them. Inordinate. The word inordinate is an adjective that means excessive, something that is too much, or maybe too much to handle, or maybe something that is more than you expected, something extravagant, something undue or unreasonable, disproportionately large. I like that word. Even that word is an interesting word. Disproportionately. Something that is much larger or more than you were expecting. So when we talk about things that are inordinate, it means something that is excessive, maybe too much, maybe more than you were expecting. Inordinate. I love that word. Very nice. It's one of the best. Here's another one. I like this word as well. When you are walking out, maybe it is a rainy day, maybe there has been heavy rain, and you are walking out, maybe you are walking through a muddy field, and then you will hear a certain sound as you walk along, as your feet go into the mud. You will hear the word is squelch. Squelch. So this can be used as a verb and also a noun. So as a verb, to make a soft sucking sound, such as that made by treading heavily through mud. So if you are walking through a muddy field, or if you stand in a muddy area where there is lots of water and soil, you might hear the sound of a squelch. We can also use it as a noun as well. So squelch as a noun is a sound that is similar to one made when walking through mud. So again, we are using the noun to name anything that sounds like that particular noise. Squelch. By the way, the word itself is imitative. So it imitates the actual sound that it is describing. So I always like to show you some unusual words, some interesting words, and maybe words that you've never heard before. And that is what I've just done. Hello, live chatters. Oh, a lot of people now want to talk about... They want to talk about Mr. Duncan. Can you please be careful of your voice? I don't know what's happening to my voice. Over the past couple of days, it's been really croaky. I seem to be suffering a lot with my voice, especially over the past couple of years. I seem to have a lot of problems and trouble with my voice. Maybe it's because I am using it too much. Perhaps that's what it is. Maybe I should spend a few months saying nothing. Mr. Steve would love that. He really would. Yes, I want to be careful of my voice, but you know, sometimes you have to take the risk. As I always say, you have to find something in life that you enjoy doing, and then let it kill you slowly. That's cheerful. Sorry, friends, I have to go now. Alessandra has to go. I believe that a lot of people have lots of things to do during the week. I think maybe that is the reason why. Thank you very much for your comments concerning last Sunday, by the way. Last Sunday, we were talking about some very interesting things. We were talking about jobs and professions that are done by certain genders, or maybe jobs that are appropriate, or maybe jobs that are related or often thought of as being related to certain genders. And I received quite a lot of messages concerning that, all of them positive, which was quite nice. So thank you very much. Sometimes we like to cover different subjects, maybe subjects that are unusual, maybe subjects that are strange, maybe subjects that sometimes may be a little controversial. But I always try my best. Hello. Oh, hello, Claudia. We were wondering where you were today. Hello, Claudia. Hello, classmates. I have been cooking panettone. I'm not sure exactly what that is, but I think it must be delicious. I'm just going to say that. By the way, I made the most gorgeous meal last night for Mr. Steve. My usual special English breakfast. I know what you're going to say, Mr. Duncan, you can't have English breakfast at night. But we did. You can have breakfast at any time of the day. You really can. So that's what I did yesterday. I made the most amazing chips. What I've started doing now, I make my chips in my little air fryer. However, I have a little trick. Instead of using oil, I now use a little bit of butter. So I put the potatoes in the air fryer, and then I pour just a little butter over the top. And then they slowly fry, they slowly cook for around 30 minutes. And then afterwards you have the most amazing chips. They are absolutely gorgeous. I could eat them every day. Oh, thank you, Beatrice. Sunday's live stream was interesting, very interesting indeed. Thank you very much. Well, I will try to do it next Sunday as well. I will be back next Sunday doing the same thing as well. Oh, I think it's Lewis. I think, Lewis, are you having difficulty with your eyes? Oh, I see. So I think it was actually Lewis who's had some surgery. Oh, interesting. Well, my mother a few years ago had to have cataracts removed because as you get older, quite often you can get clouding in your eye behind the lens. And what they have to do, they have to take out the cataracts. So that is something that often affects people of a certain age. And quite often your eyesight will start to fail. Everything will be cloudy. You won't be able to see properly. So what they do, they just make a small incision and they remove the cataracts from your eyes. So that is something that can affect a lot of people. I think Steve's mother has also had cataracts removed, but my mother had them taken out a few years ago. I'm not sure if I want to have that done. Really. So I hope I don't get cataracts as I get older. I really don't. Hopefully by then there will be some sort of treatment that you can have that doesn't involve going into your eyes. I hope so. But yes, cataracts. There are many illnesses, many things that can... Oh, I see. Hello, Tomek. I will get to you in a moment. There are many things that can cause problems with your eyes as you get older. There is another one, which is the deterioration of the retina at the back of your eye as well. You can get a sort of disease. I can't remember what it's called now, but what happens is the back of your eye, I think the blood supply is prevented from getting to the back of your eye. And so there are many things that can affect your eyes as you get older. Tom X says, hi there, how's it going? I put some olive oil on my chips in my air fryer so they don't get too dry. Well, I have discovered butter. Put some butter on your chips in the air fryer. I tell you now, they are absolutely gorgeous. A little bit of butter, absolutely wonderful. As I mentioned earlier, it would appear that autumn has arrived, even though it appears to have come very slowly. However, autumn definitely is here. And there it is, the sight of autumn. Everything at the moment is looking rather nice, even though it doesn't really feel like autumn, if I was honest with you. It does not feel like autumn at the moment because it is so warm. By the way, next week I will be going up onto the roof of my house because they will be coming down next week from the loft, from the attic, in my roof. You know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the Christmas decorations and the Christmas lights. So next week I will be preparing to put the lights up on the front of the house so all of my neighbours every night can look and watch all of my lovely twinkles. Very nice. Beatrice says, Mr. Duncan, I love your video about autumn. I reviewed your lessons the other day with a friend of mine. Very nice. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed them. Yes, my autumn lesson is one of my very long lessons that I filmed. In fact, I think I filmed my autumn lesson in 2009. Does that sound right? Wow, such a long time ago. So 12 years ago I did that. But yes, one of my favourite lessons is the lesson that I did all about autumn. One of my other lessons that I like is the one that I filmed in Turkey about going on holiday. I also made that quite a few years ago now. Quite a few years ago. We are going to talk about today's special subject in a few moments. We're talking about magic. Do you believe in magic? Do you think it is a thing that is real? There are, of course, people who appear to have magical powers. Magicians, they can do tricks, illusions. So there are many words that you can use besides magic. We can say that a magic trick is a trick that is performed by a magician. A magician will do something that looks incredible. Maybe he will make something disappear. Maybe he will put an attractive woman in a box and then he will saw the woman in half. Maybe he will do something magic like produce a flower from nowhere, out of thin air. Thank you, Shakespeare, for that one. So there are many ways of using the word magic. My chips are magic. Although Anna says, hello Anna, your air fryer should be a device for cooking in a healthy way. It would be better not to put butter on your chips whilst they are cooking. I am sorry if I am being pedantic. It's okay. It's all right, Anna. It's okay. I know. I am still observing my diet. However, now and again, not always, but sometimes, I like to give myself a little treat. I think it's okay. Oim Oim says there is a song containing magic by Queen. It's a kind of magic. It's a kind of magic. Magic. You mean that one? I think so, yes. Good song as well. Some good music from Queen. Very nice. Have you heard the new album from ABBA? Apparently ABBA have made their first studio recording and it was released last week here in the UK. A lot of people are giving their responses and their reviews. Some people like it. Some people think it's a little bland and not very interesting. I suppose it does depend. Hello, Teek Shah. Is black magic and spell the same thing? Well, I suppose quite often we will think of a spell as something that is done by a witch or maybe an evil person. They will put a spell on you. However, it's not always a bad thing. So a spell is just something that might be said or done to make something happen or change. I believe incantation is another word you can use. I might be wrong there, by the way. An incantation. But yes, spell. You put a spell on something or someone. I think another one is hex. Hex. Yes, that's a good one. A hex is a type of curse. So maybe one person will put a hex on another person. They will curse them in a certain way. And then the other person who has been cursed will have to do something to make that hex go away. So there is another word, hex. I like that one. Often described as a type of curse. But yes, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Black magic is often seen as bad, evil. So if you do black magic, it means you are in touch with the dark side. Something like that, anyway. Beatrice is having some lovely memories. I love ABBA very much. Nice memories indeed. Thank you very much for your company today. We're getting some very interesting messages coming through concerning my habit of eating chips that I've cooked in my air fryer. Vitas says, I've noticed that the live chat is a little bit faster when you are watching on your iPhone? Yes, I think it depends on how you are watching. If you are watching through your internet provider on your desktop, then you might find that it's a little slower, but it does depend. It depends how you are watching. So if you are watching on an iPhone or a mobile device, you might find that everything is a little quicker. It happens much faster. There is not so much latency. If something is latent, it means it is slow. There is a delay. So when we have latency, it means there is a gap or a space of time between one thing happening and another thing happening. That's how we get the word. We are now going to look at the topic for today, and we are looking at magic things. A little bit of magic for a Wednesday afternoon. So that's what I thought we would do. We have some magic words and phrases to look at. Lots of words, lots of phrases. Don't forget, you can watch this live stream again and again. So if you miss anything, if there is anything you see today or hear today that you don't understand or recognize, don't worry. You can watch this as many times as you want. So when we use the word magic, well, the word magic can be used as a noun, as an adjective, or as a verb as well. So there are many ways of using the word magic. The appearance of having influence on objects or events is magic. So we often describe magic as something that appears to have an effect on something else, to have the influence over something. And that, I suppose, is what a magician does. When you see a magician performing on stage, you will see that he or she is able to do things, and they give the illusion of having influence over things that other people don't possess. They don't have it. An object that appears to possess supernatural power, such as a magic wand. A lot of people like to have their magic wand. They beep, beep. They wave their magic wand around. Ding. And then maybe they perform spells, or maybe they do something that is helping another person. If you believe in that sort of thing, of course. Some people do. To perform magic, for example, he magicked the rabbit into thin air. So to perform magic is to actually do it. You are doing the actual thing. You are performing magic. Magic is the thing you are doing. He magicked the rabbit into thin air, which means he made the rabbit disappear. Or at least that was the illusion he was giving. We might express something as magic if it seems incredible or unbelievable. So something that seems amazing, something that seems incredible or unbelievable can be described as magic. I would love to go back in time and take some modern technology with me. So imagine that if you went back 100 years and then showed someone your iPhone. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine? To them, that thing would be magic. They would think that that thing was some sort of magical device from another dimension or something like that. Imagine going back 500 years and taking your television with you, although it wouldn't work because there were no TV stations. Mr. Duncan, that makes no sense. What you just said makes no sense. Okay, maybe not your TV. But imagine the things that exist now around us, all of the technology, all of the amazing things that we have at our disposal. But 200 years ago, 500 years ago, they would appear to be magic. They would appear to be some sort of magical thing from another place. Another one. Something out of the ordinary is magic. Something unusual, something that doesn't happen very often, something that only happens at certain times, or maybe something that comes along and it is a surprise. We can say that it is magic. A thing is magic. Maybe you stand and watch the sunset, and that particular sunset is incredible. It looks so red and beautiful and vivid. You might say that you saw a magic sunset last night. It was better than usual. It was more vivid, more colourful, more awesome. I like that one. A magic thing might be something that is desired or aimed for. So maybe you are, I don't know, for example, if you are losing weight, maybe there is a certain weight that you want to get down to. Maybe there is a certain amount of weight that you want to lose from your body. You are trying to get thinner. So maybe you have a magic weight. Maybe something you are aiming for. Maybe that is your target or the thing you are trying to reach. So something you are trying to gain or get or achieve can be the magic thing. Maybe you have your magic weight. Maybe you are trying to raise some money for a charity. Maybe you have to raise £5,000. So £5,000 will be the magic number. That is the number that you need. That is the amount that you have to collect to be able to do the thing you want to do. As I just said, a magic number might be seen as lucky, or it might mark a goal that has been set. The thing you are trying to reach, the thing you are trying to attain is that magic thing. Something you are trying to get, reach. Something that might be lucky as well. Some people, when they play the lottery, they will have their magic numbers because they believe that those numbers will bring them luck at some point. When something imagined becomes reality, we might describe that as magic. So something that you've thought about, something that you've imagined in your mind, but suddenly it's real. Suddenly it's there. It's not in your mind anymore. Suddenly it is real. When something imagined becomes reality, we might describe that as magic. Maybe if you are traveling to another planet, you might see that as something magical, something that appears to be magic, because it is incredible. We've only thought about it in our mind, but now it is reality. It might appear to be magic. A wonderful experience is magical. So you are referring to the thing as magical. A wonderful experience. Maybe you went on your dream holiday to a wonderful place. Maybe you visited Disneyland with your family. Maybe your children had a wonderful time. You can say, we all had a magical time. It was amazing. It was wonderful. An incredible experience. It was magical. An amazing place that stirs the imagination is magical. You might visit a far-off place that you've never been to before. Maybe a place that is completely different to where you normally are or where you normally live. Maybe you visit a desert, maybe an incredibly hot country that you've never traveled to before. It might be described as magical, a place that you've never been to. You've only imagined it, but now you are actually there. An outstanding talent or ability might be described as magic, a person who can do something that is difficult. You might describe that talent as magic. It would appear that that person has some sort of extra gift that other people don't. An outstanding talent or an ability might be described as magic. Maybe a person is good at football. Maybe they can kick the ball very well. Maybe they can score lots of goals. Maybe they have a special skill or a special way of doing a particular thing. Palmyra says Magic Johnson was a legend of basketball. He filmed a clip with him and Michael Jackson. Yes, I think the word magic is often used when we are referring to sports stars or people that have a certain skill or a certain ability. So yes, we often use the word magic to describe a person who excels at something. Hello, Beatrice. It is magical to me, or magical for me, to have found Mr. Duncan and this special family. I'm so grateful for that. Thank you, Beatrice. That's very kind of you to say. Thank you very much. Very nice. So we are looking at magic words and phrases. We can also look at words and specific phrases relating to magic. So we're going to look at some of those right now. Well, this is one we mentioned earlier, to put a spell on someone. So a spell is something that is said, something that is uttered, something that is spoken. And those particular words are able to change something around them. Maybe you will use a spell to turn a certain English teacher into a frog. You will cast a spell on someone or put a spell on someone. But also in English, in English we can say to put a spell on someone is to captivate another person with one's beauty or charm. So a characteristic of a certain person might be charming. Maybe a person is good looking or attractive in a certain way. They can put a spell on another person because of their good looks or their charming personality. To put a spell on someone. Here's another one. To be left spellbound. Spellbound. To be left spellbound means the feeling of amazement or wonder after experiencing something or seeing something. You are spellbound. You are amazed by something. You are almost entranced. Ooh, I like that word. Something you can't stop looking at. Something you can't stop thinking about. Something that has a deep impact on you can leave you feeling spellbound. I like that word. Beatrice says, I always define Paris with the word magic. Yes, you might describe a place, a certain place, as magical, a certain city or country. But yes, I remember when I went to Paris, I found it rather magical. Quite nice. It was certainly an experience. To conjure up something, to produce or make something appear, seemingly out of nowhere. So this is not magic. This is just something that appears to have come from nowhere. So maybe a person is able to produce something or create something very quickly. Maybe someone goes into the kitchen and they make a delicious meal in just a few moments, and then they come back with the meal. They conjure up something to produce or make something appear seemingly out of nowhere. So they are not doing magic, but the thing they have done appears to be magical. Here's another one, very similar to the previous one, to wave your magic wand. Ding. If you wave your magic wand, we often use this as a figure of speech to express a person doing something extraordinary. Maybe they have to do something very quickly or in a hurry. Maybe they have to do something that they have no time to prepare for. You have to wave your magic wand and make it happen. Unfortunately, you can't wave your magic wand because they don't exist. But the thing that you have to do appears to be something that needs a magic wand. A person who can do something in a very short amount of time or with very little preparation. It's almost as if they have a magic wand. I will go into the kitchen now and wave my magic wand. It means I'm going into the kitchen and I'm going to try and make a lovely meal for all of you. Even though I wasn't expecting to do it, but I will try my best. I will wave my magic wand. We can also use this sarcastically as well. Maybe if a person wants you to do something that is hard to actually do, maybe you can say to them, "Oh, I see. You want me to make a meal for all of you. Okay, I will just go into the kitchen and wave my magic wand." That means you are expecting too much. I can't do that. I can't just go into the kitchen and make a meal for all of you people. I don't have a magic wand. So we can sometimes use that in a sarcastic way. We are using sarcasm. To be good at something technical might lead to one being described as a wizard. Oh, so now we are going back to Harry Potter, you see, because he, in the movies, is a wizard. You're a wizard, Harry. I always remember that one. There was the big guy. You know, the big guy. Really big. He had a big beard and lots of fuzzy hair. I can't remember his name. I want to say was it Habid? Was that his name? You can see that I'm not a big fan of Harry Potter. Hagrid. Thank you, Anna. Hagrid. That's it. Hagrid. That was the only thing that made me laugh when he came through the door in one of the first movies. I think it was the first movie. He came through the door because Harry was living on he was living in a lighthouse. And then Hagrid pushes the door down. I thought that was quite funny. And then he just says, "Evening." So that was funny. That made me laugh. That's one of the reasons why I like the first movie, because it had a lot of humour. But the later movies didn't. They didn't have quite so much humour. So the first movie had more funny things happening. To be good at something technical might lead to one being described as a wizard. I'm not being sexist there, by the way. I hope not anyway. So you might say that a person is a wizard with computers. He's a wizard with computers. That means he's very good at operating computers, fixing computers. Maybe he's good at programming computers. So you might say he's a wizard with computers. He's very good, or they are very good. They are a wizard with computers. So I like that one. To make or to take something or someone away without warning is to be magicked away. I know it doesn't sound right or look right, so I always think that word is spelt incorrectly, but it's right, magicked. So to take something or someone away suddenly is to be magicked away. So of course you're not really using magic. It's not really magic, but you are taking a person to a place that they weren't expecting to go to. To take something or someone away without warning is to be magicked away. Here's a good sentence. She magicked me away on a romantic weekend in Paris. She magicked me away on a romantic weekend in Paris. That means that your girlfriend gave you a surprise. Maybe she produced some tickets for a free holiday to Paris. So suddenly you were packing your suitcase and you were getting on a plane and going to Paris. You were magicked away. But not really. It wasn't really magic. To do something unexpected and ingenious might mean that you will have to pull a rabbit out of a hat. To pull a rabbit out of a hat means to do something unexpected and ingenious or clever. It means you will have to pull a rabbit out of the hat. To get this project finished, we will need to pull a rabbit out of a hat. We need to do something quickly, and we need to think carefully about what we are going to do. We need to think. We need to be clever. We need to be ingenious. We need to do something quickly. So we have to put our heads together and come up with a plan. To get this project finished, we need to pull a rabbit out of a hat. You can also say, pull a rabbit out of the hat as well. A person who is resourceful can be described as having a few tricks up their sleeve. They have a few tricks up their sleeve. A person who has lots of abilities, lots of things they are able to do, maybe things that other people can't do. A person who is resourceful can be described as having a few tricks up their sleeve. Because quite often a magician will hide their tricks literally up their sleeves. They have things that are hidden away, things that you can't see. Maybe a person with special talents might also be described as having a few tricks up their sleeve. I like that one. Some good phrases today. Something that sounds like nonsense. Something that sounds like nonsense or misleading might be described as hocus pocus. I should really have my echo. I'll do that again with my echo. Okay, Mr. Duncan. Do it with the echo. Okay. Something that sounds like nonsense or misleading might be described as hocus pocus. Was it worth it? Maybe not. Something that sounds like nonsense, something that sounds unbelievable, maybe something that you don't accept as being real or useful. Some people think that homeopathy is just a load of hocus pocus. Some people think that homeopathy is just a load of hocus pocus. What they are saying there is that particular thing is not real. It's not something that actually works. It is something that a person has just made up. So homeopathy, I'm sure you know what that is. That is where you take a little tiny amount of a certain substance and then you put it in a very large amount of water. And it's supposed to have the same benefit as medicine being taken directly. What do you think? Do you believe that homeopathy is real? A lot of people do believe in it. They do. But some people do not. Some people think that homeopathy is just a load of hocus pocus. So there they were, some words and phrases, and there were quite a few of them, I have to be honest. I can't believe how many words and phrases I was able to pull out of the hat. But sometimes I like to have the pressure. I like to give myself a little bit of pressure. Philippe is here. Hello, Philippe. Hi, Mr. Duncan. Hello, Philippe. Where are you watching at the moment? Thank you very much. Anna says, many years ago, I used to watch Harry Potter movies at Christmas time with my daughter. Such a lovely time. Well, I suppose... Now, I was talking about this earlier, but I suppose if you are watching maybe a movie with your children or grandchildren, and then the movie you are watching is actually for them, I suppose you can enjoy it because you are actually enjoying the experience of your children or your grandchildren also enjoying the movie. So you might be enjoying the emotions, you might be enjoying the feeling of sharing time with people who are close to you. I think so. Thank you very much. There are so many messages coming through. It's very hard to keep up sometimes with the messages. So if I miss your message, I do apologise. Yes, it is very magic to walk around Paris. I like to start at the Saint-Michel Bridge towards the Eiffel Tower in the evening during summer. Thank you, Lewis. I have walked around Paris. It is a beautiful place, although I did go there during a public holiday. And it was quite busy, to be honest with you. It was very busy, in fact. Thank you very much for your company today. I will be going in a moment. I hope you've enjoyed this. We had a little bit of magic today, a little bit of fun for this Wednesday afternoon. That's enough. That's enough. I have to save some of the magic for later on, when I am in the kitchen tonight making something to eat for Mr. Steve, you see. Thank you very much for your company. Yes, I am going in a moment. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed today's live stream. I'm leaving you with something funny. I always like to leave you with something to watch at the end. And a lot of people have asked about the cows. Well, I will be showing a short video clip with myself, Mr. Steve, and also lots of curious cows looking at us. It would appear that lots of people want to travel to Paris. They do say that Paris is one of the most romantic places in the world, although there are other places as well. from my own experience, I've been to many places that might be romantic or have that sort of romantic feel. There are many places in this country, in the UK, that might be seen as romantic. Maybe you can take a romantic walk in the Lake District, one of the most beautiful places here in England. Very nice. Thanks for watching. I am back with you, don't forget, on Sunday. Sunday is when we are with you next. I will put that on the screen so you can see it. English Addict Live on Sunday from 2 p.m. UK time is when I'm here with you. So now we know. And of course, Mr. Steve will be joining us as well. Thanks a lot. I will give you some moments to say goodbye to each other, and we will all meet here again on Sunday. Don't forget, 2 p.m. UK time is when I'm back with you. Thank you for everyone getting in touch today. I always appreciate it. Don't forget, you can also have the live captions, and for every live stream that I do, there is also a recording of the live stream, which you can watch again and again and again. And that also has captions. This is Mr. Duncan in the birthplace of English saying thanks for watching. See you on Sunday. And of course, until the next time we meet here, you know what's coming next. Yes, you do. Stay happy. Stay safe. Enjoy your life. And of course, ta-ta for now.